And Hatha yoga, it means sun moon yoga. And so that incorporates the energies of the solar, the sun, as well as the moon, which is the masculine and feminine energies. And when we do yoga, we are bringing into union our mind, our body, and our spirit so that we can become self realized, meaning that we understand that we are God or goddess expressing ourselves through this physical vehicle. So that is what the purpose of yoga is. So let's go ahead and begin. we're going to come we're going to become God today. Goddess. All right. So I always like to begin with the sound of Om, which connects us to everything in the universe. So let's begin by bringing our palms together at our heart in prayer position. And in India, they say namaste, which means I recognize the divine in you and I bow to it, which is also in me. And when we have our palms together like this, it means that we are equal. We are one together. One is not above and the other is not below, but we are on this journey and on this path together as one. So, good morning, namaste. And now let's take a nice deep breath in through our nose and we'll chant the sound of Om. And now just breathe a few nice long deep breaths into your belly with your eyes closed. And just become aware of your energy and how you're feeling on this morning. And take your awareness down to your tailbone. And send the energy down into the earth from your tailbone until you connect your energy to the very center of the earth. Continue to breathe as you make this connection. So our tailbone is sort of like when a dog has a tail, the tail is an extension of that tailbone. And just imagine that your energy is an extension of your spine and it goes down into the earth and connects with the earth's energy and it makes that connection and then it draws the energy back up into your spine. So you have like a grounding agent, a grounding energy through that tailbone connecting down. And then you can just affirm, I am one with the heart of Mother Earth. And as you make this affirmation, as you speak these words, it creates your reality. So just feel that earth energy now streaming up into your body. Relax your tailbone and receive the earth energy. And feel it coming up all the way along your spine now to the top of your head. And then from the very top of your head, the fontanelle, that soft place where a baby has that soft place on the top of its head, Imagine the energy coming out from there and connecting to the very heart or center of the universe, the great central sun. And then you can affirm, I am one with the mind of the universe. And just feel that energy all the way from the mind of the universe, coming back down through the top of your head, along your spine, right down to your tailbone, and then down into the earth. And there's your center line. That earth energy and the divine energy meet in your heart center. Bring your awareness to your heart and feel that you are connected to both the earth and the sky, heaven and earth. And from this place, set your intention for your day. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. And let's just take our thumb and forefinger to touch and rotate our hands in a circle. Going in one direction, just warming up the wrists. And then you can rotate the hands in the opposite direction. Circle goes the other way. Good, just shake your hands out. And now let's interlace our fingers and we're going to press our palms up toward the sky. Okay, so you're sitting in easy pose with your sits bones on a cushion or on a mat. And you're going to press your arms up, lift up out of your waist, and then gently lean toward one side, but stay lifted through your waist. Keep your hips and your sits bones grounded as you reach across. So you're sort of pushing your hands up into one corner of the room. And you'll feel a stretch right along the sideline here of your body. And then come back to center, lift up out of the waist, and press over to the other side, pushing your hands away from you as you breathe into your belly. Stay lifted through the torso. Don't collapse into the side. Nice, long, deep breath. Good, and come back to center. And now we're going to twist to the right. Right arm comes behind you, left hand to the right knee. Turn and twist. Nice long spine and breathe into the belly. Bring your arms back up to center and now twist to the left. Right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you. Twisting. Good, and then come back to center. We'll just do a little bit of neck warm up. Drop the head down, chin to the chest. And now roll the right ear to the right shoulder. And then chin comes back down and roll the left ear to the left shoulder. And drop the chin. A couple more back and forth. Just feeling into your neck this morning. Keeping the breath flowing. One more side to side. Good, and then bring your head back up to center. And now let's roll out over our ankles, and we'll move anything off of the mat so we have a nice clear mat. And come into tabletop. Fingers wide, knees underneath your shoulders. And from here, let's do a couple rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, looking up. Drop the belly, open the sit bones wide and back. Gaze looks up, and the breath comes all the way in. And then exhale, press the heart up, chin to the chest, extend through the arms. Back and forth with cat-cow just to warm up the spine. One more round. Good. And now sit back on your heels. And you're going to bring your hands underneath your shoulders. So you're leaning back. And your seat is on your heels. Extend through the arms. And now lift your heart up. Open the heart here. And keep the head lifted. We're going to do some rapid inhalation and exhalation through the nose. Heart is lifted and begin. So you're pumping the navel as you breathe in and out rapidly. A big inhale. And then exhale, drop your seat, lean forward on the mat, and come into child's pose. Seat is on the heels, arms are long on the mat, forehead down. And just breathe. Good. Now go ahead and rise up. And then we're going to come all the way down onto our belly. So lower down gracefully as possible. And let's go ahead and bring our chin to the mat and our arms down alongside the body with the palms facing down. We'll do some leg lifts here. So we'll raise the right leg up. Now this is just a very gentle lift. It's just a matter of keeping the leg straight and the right hip bone down. And you're just going to hold the leg a few inches off of the mat as you extend through the toes, keeping your upper body nice and relaxed and breathing into your belly. Nice, long, slow, deep breath. One more breath here. Good. Lower the right leg down. And now bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder and turn your left cheek onto the mat. I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong instructions. Bring your left arm out to the side, palm facing down, and bring the left cheek onto the mat, and bring the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Now bend through the right knee and roll open, stepping the right foot back. So we're opening up the front of the left shoulder here. Just breathe. And if you want to go further, you can take this right arm back to open the chest and the right shoulder. Wherever you are, you can also have your hand on your hip or keep your hand on the mat. Just relax your head and neck and focus on the stretch in the shoulders. Nice deep breaths into the belly. Good. And now slowly roll back onto your belly. And we will do the other side. So chin comes onto the mat, arms down alongside the body, palms facing down. And now just raise the left leg up. The leg is straight, hip bones on the mat, and you're extending through the foot as you breathe and relax. So if you just focus on your breath, so this is building a lot of muscle right through the glutes, the leg, and it gives you a nice definition in your bum. And one more breath here. And then release that leg down. And you're going to take your right arm out to the side, palm facing down. Straight out to the side, palm down. Left hand plants underneath your left shoulder, fingers wide. And then bend through the left knee. Roll the body open as you step that left foot back. Now, again, we're focusing on opening the right shoulder, the front of it. So what's happening in your world? And you can be anywhere you need to be so as to support this pose. Hand can be down on the mat, hand can be on the hip, or you can reach the arm back if you want a deeper stretch into the chest. And just breathing. I miss people. I miss talking in front of a class. Good. And now let's roll it back onto the belly, nice and slow, easy as you go. And here we are. Okay. Arms down alongside the body, chin on the mat. And now we're going to lift everything up. Lift the arms, legs, and reach the arms back. Head is lifted, gaze is forward. And just breathe here. If you would like, you can interlace your fingers behind your back. That's not necessary, but if you want to do it, go ahead. A few more breaths here as we lift everything up. And release it down. Make a pillow with your hands. Turn your head to one side. And let's just rock our hips out side to side to release that low back. Good. Now we're going to come up onto our forearms for Sphinx pose. Okay, so your forearms are parallel to one another, and your middle finger is pointing directly forward. Elbows are underneath the shoulders. Here, point your toes, press your wrists down and your forearms down into the mat. And now lift your chest and draw the chest forward. Pressing the wrists and the elbows and the forearms into the mat as you just draw the wrists forward. You'll also be pressing into the pelvis area, the pubic bone. And just breathe here in Sphinx. Good. Now just relax. And we're going to turn our right forearm in so that it's now perpendicular. Make sure the elbow is underneath the shoulder to support as you reach back your left hand to your left foot and stay lifted with the chest. And now you're going to press the foot towards your buttock. And see how I've got my hand on top of the foot instead of like this? I'm coming in from at the top. I'm pressing, and you're going to get a really nice deep stretch into the front of the left thigh. And breathe. And then relax that leg down. And we'll do the other side. Turn the left forearm in. Make sure the elbow is underneath the shoulder to support. And now reach back with the right hand to the right foot and press the foot down toward your buttock. Breathe into the belly. Good, and release. And then we're going to just make a pillow with our hands, rest for a moment before we come into bow pose. So turn your head to one side and then rock your hips. Good. And now come back to center, and we're going to reach both hands back to grab onto both ankles. From here, you are going to lift, press your ankles into your hands, lift your chest and thighs off the mat, and breathe. Deep breath into the belly. And release everything down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press up and back and come into child's pose. This time with your knees wide on the mat and your heart melting down toward the earth, forehead on the mat. Just breathe here. Go ahead and roll up into table. Come into position so you bring your knees underneath your hips, hands underneath shoulders, fingers wide. And then from here, tuck the toes. And let's take it up and back into downward dog, pedaling through one foot and then the other. Nice and slow as we press our hands into the mat. And so when you're in downward dog with your arms, you want to gently roll the arms inward so that it's like more supportive. Do you understand? So it becomes more like that rather than, we don't want the arms to roll out. We want them more to roll in. And that supports the pose a little bit more. Good. Now sinking both heels down, and as you do, just a slight pulsation in the heart, bouncing the heart toward the feet. Reaching those heels down. Good. From here, let's go ahead and roll it out into plank. So come onto your toes, and then you're going to roll the whole body out into plank. I got a squeaky mat today. Plank, your body is nice and straight. Hips are lifted. Just hold it here for a moment as you breathe. Now, if anything comes too hard, always drop onto your knees. It's an option. And then you can come back in when you're ready. And now take it up and back into downward dog. And then let's go ahead and walk our feet up towards our hands. Feet stay hip width apart. Your knees are bending here so that your belly's on your thighs. Let your head hang. And then hold opposite elbows. And just sway the spine. Shake your head out. Sort of like a rag doll. Just letting the whole upper torso lengthen out over the legs. And now stillness as you just breathe into the belly. Good. Release the arms down, bend through the knees, and let's slowly roll up to stand. Okay, coming to the top of the mat. We're going to do some standing poses, palms at the heart. Feet are hip width apart. And let's inhale, reach up, slight back bend. And then exhale, forward fold. So arms sweep out, knees bend as you come all the way down. And we'll step back with the right foot into low lunge. Plant the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Raise the left arm up to sky. Breathe here. And then release the left arm down. And now you're going to drop your right foot down. We're going to come up into warrior one. So the right foot should line up with the right hip bone. And go ahead and bend into that left knee as you rise up to stand. Warrior one, your hips and shoulders are squared to the front of the mat and the arms come up. Sink into the front leg and then reach back through the right leg so that the outside edge of the right foot is reaching for the mat. Keep drawing that right hip forward so it aligns with the left. It's even with the left hip. And then lift through the chest. Gaze comes up. You have a nice stable pose here. Breathe into it. Feel the strong foundation in your legs. Good. And now straighten through the front leg and pull the back foot in to shorten the stance for a pyramid pose. So the feet are the same, as warrior one, but we just have a shorter stance. And now press into the feet, both legs are straight, and begin to lean out over this left leg. Hands can come to blocks here. So you can have your block high side and hands on both blocks. If you have more flexibility, you can take your hands to the mat, and we're stretching out over this left leg so you can feel a nice, beautiful stretch in the hamstring, back of the left leg. Breathe. Good. We'll come up. So go ahead and bend that left knee to safely come up. And then move on to the left leg, standing on the left leg. So we're going to do a balance pose here, Nataraj, which is dancing Shiva. So we'll make it easy and we'll just go slowly through this pose. So stand with your feet hip width apart. Now, if you would like to use a chair to hold your hand on, I would recommend it, just to be safe. Okay, so you can put your left hand on a chair to stabilize yourself. And then you're gonna bring your weight onto the left leg as you bend through the left knee with your right hand grabbing onto the right ankle. And now with your gaze forward and your chest lifted, if your hand's on a chair, you're going to reach that right leg back as far as you can go. And it may just be not very far, and that's fine. Just do what you can do. Otherwise, you can raise this left arm up and then reach that right leg back, and you're bending forward at the hips. Right leg is lifted, chest is lifted, gaze is forward. Dancing Shiva. And then slowly coming out and step onto the right foot. And now your feet are a little bit wider than the hips, and we're just gonna twist back and forth just to release the low back here. Ah, yes. Good. Come back to the mat, and we're gonna do the whole thing on the other side. Palms at the heart. Inhale, reach up. Slight back bend. And then forward fold. This time, step the left foot back into low lunge. Making sure that your right knee is underneath, or the right foot is underneath the right knee. Plant the left hand underneath the left shoulder. Raise the right arm up for a twist. The other option here is to drop the left knee down for more support. One more breath. And then lower the right arm down. And now plant that right foot down with the foot lining up with the left hip bone, so we come up into warrior one. Nice long stance, coming on up. And so we want to get these hips even, shoulder even to the front. You're bending into this right leg. Arms reach up, sink into the front leg, and lift the chest. And then reach through this back leg with the outside edge of the foot reaching for the mat. Breathing. Virabhadrasana 1. Good. Release the arms down. And now we're going to pull that back leg in, shorten our stance. For pyramid pose, same feet as warrior 1, but shorter stance. Okay, I'm just going to grab the block. So those who are using blocks. All right, pyramid pose, press into the feet, and then begin to bend forward. And wherever you come to, legs are straight with a slight bend in the knees, or the right knee. And so you can place your hand here on a block and just work the pose right here, as long as you're feeling that stretch in the back of the right leg. Breathing into it. I like to do longer holds in poses, and at first it will seem hard to you. But if you stick with it, you'll see that this is the best way to build strength over time. So it might seem hard at first, and you can take little breaks if you need to, but stick with it and you will find that you become very strong. You do it consistently. And age doesn't matter. The class I taught in Santa Fe were all in their 50s and 60s and 70s, and they all got really, really strong. Good. All right, from here, bend into your right knee and press up. And now we're going to come into Nataraj, dancing Shiva on the other side. So step your feet up together, hip width apart. You can have your right hand on a chair here to stabilize you, or a wall, or whatever works. And then you're going to balance on the right leg as you reach the left hand for the left foot. And I should say here too, if you can't reach your hand to the foot just like this, you can use a strap. So you would loop the foot into the strap and hold the strap, the foot by the strap like this, all right? Okay. So you've got the foot in the left hand or by the strap, and lift through the chest. You're going to begin to lean forward as you reach that left foot back, left leg back. And you want to keep this left hip down a little bit as you reach the right arm forward if it's not holding a chair. Breathe into the pose. This is a little bit more of a challenging pose. Keep the chest and gaze lifted. Good. And now we're going to come right out of it slowly with care. Excellent. And feet are a little bit wider than the hips, and let's just sway back and forth. I have completely forgotten my clock, so I gotta make sure I don't run us over here. Okay, good. With your feet hip width apart, let's bring the arms up, and we're gonna sit down into chair. All right, so chair, keep your tailbone tucked under. You don't want to arch the back here, and you really want to sit down as much as you can. You're going to feel the strength in your legs. Feel the strength. Good. From here, drop your hands down, straighten through the legs, come back into forward fold. And now take your feet out. Toe heel your feet out so you have a nice wide stance on the mat. And you're going to have your toes pointed in a little bit and your heels pointed out. Time for a twist. So you have options here. You can bring the left hand to the center and raise the right arm up. That's your twist. If you want to go deeper, take the left hand to the right ankle, right arm up. Breathe here. So we always twist from the mid back up. You don't want to ever twist from the low back. One more breath. And then we come back to center and we'll take it to the other side. Hand can come into the center of the mat. You can also be on a block or your palm flat on the mat, left arm up. Or you can reach that right hand for the left ankle and the left arm up as you take nice, long, slow, deep breaths into the belly. Good. Coming back to center. Support yourself with your two hands planted on the mat and turn your feet, your heels in, toes out. And from here, press up. And we're going to come into a squat. So just get yourself in position where you can do a nice deep squat. Arms up, fingers wide. And we're getting some nice leg work here today. The legs are our foundation. We want to keep them nice and strong. Breathe in goddess pose. See yourself as this beautiful goddess or God. A beautiful divine being in this body. Begin to see yourself as this. That you are divine. You are beautiful. You are God expressing itself through you. So find the joy and the beauty in you, of who you are. And then come all the way up, toe heel your feet together. Good. And now let's just make our way down onto our seat. However you want to come down. Both legs out in front, just shake your legs out. And let's do a forward fold. So some people like to have a towel or a blanket underneath their knees. And it's really supportive of the low back to do that. So you can just place something underneath your knees. Legs out in front. Lift up so you have a nice long spine. And then right from your hip bones, bend forward with the spine lengthened as you lean forward over your legs and your hands come to wherever they land. If you have any neck issues or back issues, you want to keep your head lifted as you draw your chest forward out over your legs. If you don't have any back or neck issues, you can go ahead and drop your head down and then breathe into this forward fold. Take your breath right into your low back. Keep your feet flexed. Good, and then slowly coming up. And now we're going to do shoulder stand. So shoulder stand is considered to be the queen of all poses. Sarvangasana, and Shirshasana or headstand is the king of poses. So the queen of poses. Sarvangasana. I'll give you the modified version first. And what you can do if you want to take the modified version is take a cushion and place it up against a wall. And then you're going to bring your seat up right next to the wall, and your legs come up, and you will be relaxed on your back, arms open wide, palms facing up, and you can have quite a bit of support underneath your sacrum, your seat, so that your lower body is lifted. That way you get the inversion, the benefits of the inversion. So whenever we invert ourselves, the blood runs the opposite direction down to the heart. And it sort of nourishes the heart here. It gives the heart a break. And we can just relax here with the feet up along the wall. Okay, that's the first version. And then the second version, you're going to bring your legs up. So I like to teach with a support underneath the shoulders. Just bring a towel or mat to, it's going to come right to the shoulders so that your head will be on the mat, but your shoulders will be on the towel or blanket. That just gives your neck a little bit more room. All right, so when you lie down, your shoulders are there, and then you can just lift the legs up. Legs are straight up. Hands are supporting your back, your hips. And just breathe here. And then to come out, bend your knees towards your forehead. And then slowly roll down one vertebra at a time onto your back. Nice and slow. Easy does it. And you're coming down onto your back. So if you had your legs up the wall, go ahead and come down onto your back now. And we'll bring our feet underneath our knees. And we'll do a bridge pose here. Arms come down alongside the body. And feet are underneath the knees. And we'll go ahead and lift the hips. Draw the shoulders underneath you. If you can interlace your hands, go ahead and do that. And then you're going to press into the feet. Keep your legs from splaying out. So keep your legs in and then lift. As you press your arms down, lift your upper chest toward your chin, your sternum. Press the arms into the mat. Press your feet into the mat. And breathe. This is a nice glute strengthener, thigh strengthener. And squeeze into the perineum. Squeeze the Muladhara. And then go ahead and release everything down. Hug the knees into the chest. And let's just rock a little bit side to side. And then we'll do our twist here. So keep your knees into your chest. Arms come out to the side. Palms facing down. And then slowly drop your knees over to the left as you keep your upper body on the mat. Gentle twist. And now use your core to bring both knees back to center and then over to the other side. Dropping the knees down, upper body stays on the mat. And breathe. Draw the knees back to center. And now lengthen both legs out onto the mat. And we're coming into final Shavasana, final resting pose. So whatever movements you need to make before you come into Shavasana, or as you come into Shavasana, make those movements. And then we will come into complete stillness. Eyes closed. Breath gentle. And take your awareness into your heart center. And connect with the light in your heart. Just notice what color this light is. And feel and know this light to be the light of God. And as you connect with this light, as you breathe and relax and allow yourself to open, you can feel and see that this light is expanding. And just know that there is no separation between you and God. There is only oneness. Relax even more, letting go of any resistance as you merge with that light. Surrender to the light. You are this light. And as you come to realize the truth of who you are, you can become your true self. This beautiful, multi-dimensional being of light that is love at your core. And just feeling into this love. Feel the gratitude that you have for this light of God that is inside of you and inside of each one of us. And the more we move into the light and choose the light, more we can experience the expansion of the self. Just let go, let your mind go, let your heart opens even more and softens. And now that light is flooding your entire body. It is moving outward in all directions, like a lighthouse beaming. And the light moves out past your energy field, filling the room you're in. And now this light of God fills the entire house. And because the light is magnificent and unlimited, it fills the entire neighborhood. And the town that you're in. Just let it. You don't have to do anything. Just let it expand as you surrender. And now the light moves out and it fills the state you're in, touching the light of everyone and everything else in that state. And now the light moves out to the whole world. And in this expanded state, go ahead and reach your arms long overhead, stretching through your whole body. bending through both knees and rolling onto one side. And then pressing yourself up, coming into your seated pose with the light still filling the world. Remember, as you intend it, so it becomes. Palms at the heart. We'll close the class with one Om breathing in together. I bow to this beautiful, magnificent, and unlimited light inside of you that is also inside of me. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I ran a little bit over. I hope you have a wonderful day. My name is Beth Wright of Spirit Works, and you can find me at energyhealingteacher.com or Spirit Works Beth Wright on Facebook. Thank you so much.